What's going on, you guys? So I'm doing another impromptu live video. Best way to do it. Yeah, I got a lot of baby hairs going on. I gotta retwist my hair. But I guess I'll wait for a few people to get on and then, we can begin. Or I won't wait. It's kind of how impromptu works. So you might be wondering where I am right now. I'm at work right now, chilling. Okay, got one person. Cool. Two people. Good. All right. Two people's good for now. So I want to talk one person. Okay, okay, zero people. All right, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just want to up and leave. It's all good. My feelings aren't hurt. It's not like, I'm just gonna go and cry in a corner after this live video is over. You know what I'm saying? So, you leave, it's all good. I, I, I ain't affected. Anyway, no, I'm just playing. Okay, so let's begin. So I want to talk about law of attraction, why it's real. A lot of people think that the law of attraction is about is people they have this very surface level of what the law of attraction is, and that's why they don't believe in it. When um, we say thoughts create reality, and people don't really get into it, or they do get into it and they misinterpret it because they're not ready to receive the information, they're not ready to receive the knowledge. The truth is, this is the greatest truth that you'll ever learn in life, that you become what you think about. What you hold most in your head is what you're going to become, period. Bottom line, point blank, it's real, it's true. But for the naysayers and those that need facts and data, what what essentially we're going to have to do is go into the physical, which is actually the result of thought. Just to preface this, everything that is in this physical world started off as an idea. Even you started off as an idea. Your parents, they're like, you're looking pretty good. And they had the idea, and you, whether consciously or unconsciously, they had the idea that their consummation was going to end up with you. So everything that you see, every building, every food, even the oceans, it came from an idea. The planet itself, it started out as an idea, and then it came into physical form. Whether it was created by man or not is a whole other thing. So I tend to go meta real quick, and that's what makes me lose people. But I don't really give a damn right now. So we're going to preface this, or rather, we're going to go into the anatomy and physiology of the nervous system, particularly the brain. Now, the brain. Most people think that the brain is like, we respond to this. A lot of scientific stuff that you see on TV and that you see even on social media tends to frame the anatomy and physiology of the brain as a fixed thing. Like, human beings tend to be afraid of this. Human beings tend to want to be in groups. Human beings tend to want. It's like a lot of that is due to conditioning that they're talking about. They talk about conditioning as if it's human nature, and it's not. A lot of stuff that they're talking about. Some of the stuff is ancient programming, which is called instinct, but a lot of it is conditioning. And what I want to teach you about the brain, or tell you about the brain, or share about the brain today, is that the brain is a river, not a rock. And that's something that one of my early teachers taught me about the nature of the brain. The brain can be shifted. The brain can be changed. The brain is made up of a series of nerves, which in turn are set up by a series of neurons, which are nerve cells. And these nerve cells have branches on them that can stretch, that can shrink. And when enough nerves come together, it's called a neural net within the brain, a neural network regarding a specific idea in your life. So when it comes to, like, your attitude toward food, there's a neural net for that. Your attitude toward family, there's a neural net for that. Your job, there's a neural net for that. You can even think of them as files in your brain. The term that I want to introduce to some of you that have not heard of it is neuroplasticity. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's called neuroplasticity. It's the idea that the brain can be shaped and changed by changing the neural nets within the brain. Okay, how do you change the neural nets in the brain? Well, most of the neural nets that you already have established in your brain came from conditioning, came from your experiences where, your attitudes toward relationships where your first love, they broke your heart, or your first love was amazing, or you had a really bad childhood, or you had a really amazing childhood, or, you have a poor relationship with money, you have a really great relationship with money, or you're trying to figure out how to solve the problems in your life, or you feel stuck in the problems in your life. These are all due to the neural nets in your brain. Now here's something that's really fascinating about the brain. It is scientifically proven that the brain does not know does not know the difference between a dream and what we call reality, meaning when you're asleep and you're experiencing yourself going through stuff, or when you're awake and you're experiencing yourself go through stuff. The brain itself, isolated, does not really know the difference. Okay? Just let that sink in. So we talked about neuroplasticity. We said the brain cannot differentiate between a dream and reality. The brain by itself cannot do that. You think that you can. You think, oh no, this is reality. No, the brain can't tell. So this is where thoughts create reality comes in. Okay? And I'm going to talk about another aspect of the brain if I remember. So there have been scientific experiments where people have done where scientists have done visualization exercises with athletes, and the athletes would literally visualize themselves training certain parts of their body to get stronger. And what would happen would be, after a certain period of time, is that the corresponding body part would actually strengthen, but the corresponding body part would actually become change into the condition that the athlete continued to visualize that body part to be in. And you think that that's magic, or you think that that's sci-fi or fantasy, it is absolutely real. It's 100% scientific fact. These athletes visualize themselves training particular body parts, running particular races, winning particular. Okay, hold on, because I'm at work, so I got to do this. Okay, Ronald McDonald House. This is Gabe. How may I help you? Hmm. I'm sorry, we don't. Well, it's best to probably call tomorrow. Is that feasible for you? Okay. Right. Yeah, I can transfer you over. Okay. She's not here now, but I can definitely. Okay. Cool. Okay. Thank you for waiting. I don't have a pause button, so anyway, so these athletes, and this may happen periodically during my live transmission here. So the athletes visualize themselves training body parts and running races, or shooting basketballs, or running across a football field, and they were literally the brain would literally begin to develop the aspect of itself, meaning the brain, so a certain part of the brain that has to do with a particular body part would develop, and then in addition to that, the actual body part would develop. So so that just right there tells you that the brain is like, you can basically shift your own physical body. This isn't because these athletes were special, or they were from another planet or something. They were human beings just like you or I. They might have been world class athletes, but still they were human beings. They have 46 chromosomes like most of us do. So there's another aspect of the brain that I want to talk about, and it's called the reticular formation. The reticular formation, in a nutshell, is an aspect of the brain that recognizes a particular significant stimulus that you have put there. For example, I used to live in the South, and when I when I lived down there years ago, I seen my first Nissan Sentra, and it had a unique look back then. It was probably one of the first unique looks, and um, there was a woman that I fancied, and she actually drove that car. It was red, and then I couldn't notice anything but that car after that point. Well, after that point, that signifies to a certain extent the reticular formation recognizing a pattern of significance that you have made, that you have impressed with a lot of intensity in your awareness and on your brain. So with those two ideas, basically visualization or the brain not neuroplasticity, the brain not being able to tell the difference between dream and reality, and the reticular formation, these are three basic anatomical principles that the law of attraction activates. And it's not really the law of attraction, in my opinion, because you're not really pulling anything to you, that. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. I can talk about that in another video. So what's essentially happening on an anatomical level is you're using the frontal cortex, which is the the part of the brain that has to do with control of emotions and choice and kind of your individuality. You're using it if you want to bring something into your life. You use that part of your brain to visualize what you want. You bring your emotional aspect into it to charge it up with power, right? Therefore, you make it significant to your brain. You make it significant to your awareness. You impress it upon your own awareness in your own brain. You make it significant. So the reticular formation is now programmed to find that pattern anywhere that you see it. And so if you sit there for 15 minutes and say, this is what I want to bring into my life, you think about it really hard, and you think about what really ignites your passion, really ignites your drive, really ignites your desire. And you sit down and you say, okay, this is what I want, this is how I want it, and you just visualize it and you feel it. You have emotion. How would you feel in that situation? And then actually feeling that, you are programming the reticular formation to see that pattern. And not only are you doing that, but you are actually creating a neural net. You are creating a new association with particular concepts. When you create a neural net, you are essentially, and you create enough neural nets, you are creating new associations to concepts in your life. If you have been heartbroken and been hurt over and 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 over again, you can literally sit down, think about how what you want your love life to really be like, and continue to visualize that over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and create an entirely new neural net that creates an entirely new association to the concept of being in love and having a love life. And your reticular formation will recognize those things that you actually want. So, I see a lot of women that like, there's no good men out there. You're thinking bad men thoughts. you're, you're using bad men thoughts, and you're using the bad men neural net to discern the truth of your reality, when all you have to do is sit down, think about what you really want, visualize it, feel it. Your brain will change, literally change, and then you will start to recognize good men in your life. You will attract good men in your life. That is an anatomical, scientifically proven way to become. And get this, right? People are so caught up. My personality, my personality. Your personality is nothing from an anatomical point of view. It is nothing but a series of neural nets in your brain. Nothing but a series of neural nets. If you create an entirely different set of neural nets regarding what you are coming into contact with in your life, you create an entirely new person. Do you understand? Like, this is why when people say, love attraction, it's just fairy dust. No, 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 no. You're looking at the people that are trying to avoid taking action on what they really want. And I've seen people who use the law of attraction to escape taking action on what they want. You don't want to look at those people. You want to look at the people that are actually getting results from it. Like, and many of those people are what we call celebrities, what we call, millionaires and billionaires. That's many of those people. That's just what it is. So they're using these principles. They won't tell you about them yet because a lot of people they're so caught up in believing that the first off that the way that it's been is the way it's always going to be. They wouldn't listen to a celebrity tell them to their face that you create your own reality. You control your own reality. Whatever you want to change, you can just sit down and change it. You don't have to have money. You don't have to have people around you. You don't have to have any of those things. Those things help, but they're actually an echo and a reflection of your own inner awareness about yourself. So it's just I just told you from a purely physical, anatomical point of view how the law of attraction works. If you program your brain to be a successful brain, if you program your brain to be a romantic brain, to attract good partners in your life, like people say, you can't trust people, you can't trust people. Well, then create a reality where you can trust people. I just gave you the game for free. I just gave you the game for free, bro, sis, cuz I just told you how to do it. There's nothing else that you need to know, basically. You want to change your life? Figure out what you want. This is what I want. Don't hold back. Don't lie to yourself. Be honest with yourself. Be radically honest with yourself as far as what you want in your life. Sit down and see it, feel it, and attract that shit. And do that for 100 days straight. Do that for 100 days straight. Get up at the same time. Do it at visualize at the same time every day. Do that for 100 days. And I guarantee you will make some headway in what you really want in your life. I guarantee it, dude. I guarantee it. Neuroplasticity. Do not forget this term. Do not forget this term because it is the key to changing your life. Now, if you want to know more about it, I mean, you can ask me or you can read a book on it. You can read an article on it, whatever you want to do. But I just gave you some game if you didn't know about this. 2018, change your life, become better, become amazing, make it. Somebody laughing at me? You got jokes? Oh, okay, I see what it is. But anyway, I love you guys, and I just wanted to share some value with you today. And hey, man, share this video. I'm making everything that I put up here public. Share this video with someone that you think needs to hear this. All right, peace.